In my last video, my Catamaron Cruise by Island Charters Jamaica, in the grill, unfortunately I ran out of space on my device and I did not realize until it was too late. But by popular demand, persons have been asking me what was it that I was intending to say. And so I decided to just continue with the speech and upload, as well as just to add a few more lessons that I would have learned. So, continuing. Another lesson that I learned is that whilst I was willing to snorkel, I wasn't willing to try jumping off the cliffs. Not that I wouldn't want to, I definitely would. But we have to know our limitations, know what we are capable of at the time, and then if you don't have the skill set to take on the challenge, just wheel and come again and prepare for another time. There will always be another time. Ain't no use hurting yourself. Be honest with yourself and know that I cannot take this on today. My cousin from Emperor We always says, in life there'll always be challenges, but as a leader, you have to pick your battles each day. Know which hill you're willing to die on. And sometimes when we're talking about difficulties, she says, Kim, I'm not taking on this challenge today. I'm not willing to die on this hill today. So, know your limitations. Another lesson I learned is that people always say that you can be lonely in a crowd, and that is absolutely true. But I also learned a new twist. You are only as lonely as you make yourself. On this trip, there were families, friends, wedding parties, people celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. You would think they didn't have time for anyone else except their own loved ones. Not true. People are inherently good. I found so much love and joy on this boat. Persons were willing to take my pictures. Persons were willing to chat up a storm with me, and the crew made it easier. I was absolute royalty. The crew director kept me close to her side, and if she had to leave, one of the crew members was always left in charge of me, always being pretty close and keeping guard. Now, I did not ask for that, but you know what I learned? Your demeanor sometimes determines how people treat you, and it tells others how you are traveling. A miserable off-putting countenance says you are traveling heavy, and some people just aren't attracted to heaviness or to the dark. There is just so much darkness and stress in the world that people are always looking for ways to be happier and experience true joy. As I mentioned joy, I wonder if that's why my grandmother Miss Cutie, aka Sweetie Pie, named her first child Joy. Such a simple but powerful virtue to name a child. And then Joy's daughter, Tracy, my cousin from Emperor We, she would go on to name her children Harmony and Charity Elsie Joy. And I would go on to name my daughter Essence Peyton Grace. Values and virtues matter to us. Anyways, back to the nature of human beings. In my frame of reference, and based on my personal experiences, if you are more relaxed and friendly, people tend to be drawn to your light. And sometimes, this light brings joy to others, and it can actually save lives, as people trust you enough to share their deepest pain and to help them find a solution. Now, I'm not saying you can trust everybody, but I'm saying that your light matters. Regardless of our situation, let us all continue to work on our light and to remember our light ultimately comes from God. It is primarily following Christ's footsteps of being good, kind, loving, and respectful. My grandmother always told me as a child, manners carry you through the world. And my old Sunday school teacher, may her soul rest in peace, always taught me a little song. Root them out, dig them out, those little habits in the field of life, envy, jealousy, malice and pride, they can't enter in the house of God. She also taught me another song, a sunbeam, a sunbeam. Jesus wants me for a sunbeam. I'll be a sunbeam for him. Those words I've kept very close to my heart from childhood into adulthood, and I have never forgotten them. They dictate how I operate and guide how I treat people today. Sometimes we just gotta go back to basics as we travel. NHTA today, 2019, mirrors my exact musings. They note, as we travel through the highways and byways of life, one realizes that the faster life becomes, the busier it gets, and the louder it gets. Therefore, it becomes harder to comprehend the simplest, most essential aspects of life. According to Mavra Michaels, as cited in NHTA Today, 2019, the essence of life is constant growth. Every day I remind myself to keep moving, to be open to change, to keep inquiring, and try to be better than the day before, unquote. I love those words. And you know, someone who lives by those words is not necessarily in competition with anyone. They are seeking for themselves to be better, seeking for their purpose in life. Ultimately, love, happiness, fellowship, brotherhood, family, friendship, gratitude, and most importantly, peace are what we need. So let us all build a community of lights. One light at a time, we can change the world. Today we are 108 lights strong, and I'm so proud of you, and I thank you. On the subject of gratitude, I say to Island Charters and to my friend Omar, I cannot thank you enough. Gratitude, however, is the fairest perfume that one can give to the soul. You guys at Island Charters and Omar, you are amazing and you rock. You truly demonstrate the heart of Jamaica. The Jamaica that Bob Marley sang about. The Jamaica that Usain Bolt represent. You truly epitomize what Jamaicans are truly like at the heart. Good, kind, and decent people. These are the values and virtues that our grandmothers from yesterdays gave to us. It is true, there is something special about Jamaica, and it's not just the water. It's not just the sand and the sea and the sun. It's the people. A must make ya. Jamaica. Cheers.